give you a very authoritative response to that. I'm just an ordinary citizen looking at these things that are going on. But what I'm waiting for, and I'm very sympathetic to the people who are not doing it, but what I'm waiting for is for somebody to come along and say, look, we've got to use less. This thing that we're calling our standard of living must be maintained. And so this means that we've all got to make a criticism of our lives and of our standard of living. What do we mean by a standard of living? What do we mean by a high standard of living? Well, for instance, do you have to have a cathedral ceiling? Is that a high standard of living? What's the benefit of that? My vision of the cathedral ceilings is that it's going to bring the market for ladders way up. People are going to invite their friends over, and they're going to have to furnish each one of them with a ladder because all the heat's going to be up there in the top of the living room. So they'll all climb up there where it's warm and sit on the ladder and talk through the evening. But seriously, somebody finally going to have to step forward. We're getting scale wrong, for instance. We're putting too much at stake. Nobody thinks about anything little. I don't know. I can't give a decent opinion on it. But it seems to me we all look into the possibility that there might be a possibility of getting these minerals in a way that doesn't put quite so much at stake. That's the problem of scale, and we ignore it all over the place. But I think limits. The issue of limits is the issue. There's one of them. The other issue is context, and they two are related. Finally, we're coming into a time when the context is beginning to speak back to us very noisily, very loudly. We live in the world. We've been pretending like we don't. Now we're hearing from the world. The hypoxic zone in the Gulf of Mexico that was already there before this oil spill was news from the world. There are 400 of those in the world, those hypoxic zones, dead zones in the ocean. So that's an issue. But when you then the thing to do when we talk about these characteristics that happen to be characteristics of good agriculture, diversity, versatility, the recognition of and acceptance of appropriate limits, or getting the scale right, and local adaptation. Those ideas, it seems to me, put us in reach of work that we can do. To assume that all experience is like that oil well, it can only be handled by experts at great expense is a mistake, I think. What we need to do is to get it to where we can have a say in it, and we can, I think. If we don't, then we lose the personal ground of hope. And the next thing is we're all going around saying things like, it's inevitable, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm so tired of that word, inevitable. That's part of the vocabulary of very lazy people.
Well, we'll